We're going to get to our next topic. G, you teased this before. We're going to talk a little Micah Parsons rumors after a reminder that if you need to fuel up, you better be doing it with 5-Hour Energy Transfusion shots. 5-Hour Energy Transfusion brings the bold grape, ginger, and lime flavor of your favorite golf drink, minus the alcohol, into a quick, energizing shot, whether you're sinking birdies or just making memories with friends. This one's a hole-in-one for your golf game. Golf is all about the good times with good people and good flavors, of course. The grape, ginger, lime flavor gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without chasing down the beverage cart. If you go to 5hourenergy.com today, that is the number 5hourenergy.com, you can use promo code LOCKEDONGOLF to receive 20% off your order. This offer is only valid until September 30th on one order and cannot be used with other promotions. This code is not good on subscription orders. Whether you're meeting up with friends or trying to turn 18 holes into 36, get the energizing boost you need to power through. Order transfusion-flavored 5-Hour Energy shots today. Gee, Micah Parsons is unhappy in Dallas, said he is done playing for the Cowboys. He has officially requested a trade, and lo and behold, Bovada put up Micah Parsons' next team odds, and the Raiders are the favorites if he's going to leave Dallas. And look who's number 2, G. The Browns at plus 600, the second favorites to land Micah Parsons if a trade were to happen. So I want to ask you guys this, and Jay, you basically alluded to it earlier. Does it make sense for the Browns to go after Micah Parsons or any player of that caliber, any kind of blockbuster deal, and give up future assets if they aren't 100% certain at the quarterback position? G, we'll start with you on this.
Are you gonna start? I was gonna wait this out, but I'll go ahead and start.
You can go last if you want.
No. I'm gonna start this thing. Listen. Now, I sat here the other day. There was another guy who came
Operation
up.
Stockpile. I know where you're going.
But I did say that last time. They asked that we want to get Terry McLaurin. I said, come on, man. We ain't getting no Terry McLaurin. He's 30 years old, man. He ain't never been no speedster. He want crazy money. I'm like, bro, plus we don't even know who's gonna run the ball or play quarterback. That's an offensive player. Now let me just say this. As general, lieutenant, captain, first corporal, all the above, letter D of Project Stockpile, this one is different. This is Micah Parsons. This is undoubtedly probably the second best defensive player in the game. The thought process just the thoughts of having Micah Parsons and Myles Garrett on the same team, you might be able to run Wildcat and win 9 games. You could just put I don't know, you could run tight end screens. Do you understand what that is, Jay and Jason?
I do, but what's his contract terms?
Whatever he wants.
No. Is he requesting a trade and sign?
Yes, he wants a new contract that Dallas will not give him a contract.
Okay.
Or Dallas, to this point, has been unwilling.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, Dallas could trade him, and the new team doesn't have to sign him. They can just trade him.
I would like to sign him.
Of course you would.
I want him.
But a deterrent for trading for him would be if you couldn't get a deal up front.
Oh, okay.
Now, usually when a player asks for a trade, they want to be traded and signed by someone that's going to pay them. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if that precludes. Like, I still think the Cowboys could trade him to the Cardinals if they wanted. If the Cardinals gave them the best package.
The reason why the Browns are up there is because they got 2 first-round picks.
I imagine so, yeah, and because they've got an owner that just loves.
And they have an owner, and
he's Jerry Jones Part 2. He's small, poorer Jerry Jones, and or maybe even richer. I don't know.
Do you want to trade Micah Parsons to the NFC? Not really.
No, but is it 1 year left on his deal? That's what I don't know.
Yeah.
So he has this coming season on his deal.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, and I can't do a trade and sign, then no. I'm not going to put him on a team that's projected to finish last. A team that I see over and over and over and over is projected to have is 32 in the power rankings.
Let me tell you this.
I know he'd make a difference, but he doesn't throw the ball and he doesn't catch the ball. And the last time I checked, that's how you win games. And so to put him on our team for 1 year, and then let's say, here's a scenario. Dallas trades
for
him.
If you're trading for him, you're signing him to an extension.
Exactly, and that's the only way I'm doing it. There's no way I would do it for a 1-year rental. No way.
No.
Because the price is going to be high.
And
we don't have assets on our team to give up, so we'd have to give up draft picks. So we'd be right back into a situation where we lose the coveted draft pick.
If you tell me that draft, well, here's the thing. You tell me that draft pick is better than Micah Parsons, it's not.
No, it won't be one draft pick.
You probably have to give up a couple. You got.
It'll be multiple picks.
Hey, we'll get multiple picks.
Jay, am I crazy on that?
First. You're getting 2 firsts for him.
It's the same.
I agree.
It's the same Myles Garrett conversation we had all winter.
Right. If they want to, if it's me, you want one of these first next year, fine. I'll give you one the next year.
Well, I would definitely give up one of the first.
One, and then I still need one of those.
And piss off your 27.
Yeah,
first
get that out of here too. And my thought process is get that out of here. My process is this, man. You got to understand.
That's wrecking the sports car and going out and buying a brand new one.
Out of here, bro.
Because what wrecked our franchise was giving up 3 first-round draft picks.
But here's bear with me here. Yes,
I want the Maserati.
Give
me the turbo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need the turbo.
This is 2 Bugattis. You got to understand something.
Yeah, you're right about that.
The price of, guess what? Yes, it is about throwing the football. Guess what? You can't throw the football. Can you imagine Jim Schwartz with Micah Parsons and Myles Garrett?
No, I can't.
Listen, you put Joe Flacco, get in the hyperbolic time chamber. Go in there and get your body right. We need you to, listen, it don't matter. At that point, you're looking at, okay, we're playing the Cleveland Browns. What are you going to do? And you still have Denzel Ward. They're not, listen, it's a problem. That is the only thing that I'll be willing to completely blow up all the other stuff. You know why? Because I just know how devastating that is.
He's a difference maker.
I mean, when you got that, I just come watch defense. I just come watch the pass rush, Jason Lloyd.
There's a fly in the ointment in your theory.
Okay.
They're not trading him.
They
ain't trading them.
Well, that's a different conversation. Right. That's a different conversation altogether.
You can dream whatever you want.
Fairyland Forest all the time. We do things all the time.
Can we see the odds again of his next team? Because his next team wasn't on the list. His next
Cowboys.
team is his current team. It's the Cowboys.
I'm not going to put the odds up because it started at plus 500. I'm guessing the Cowboys would be minus 1,000 for his next team.
They're not.
Why would you trade a generational talent like that?
Which is why, real quick.
Same reason the Browns didn't trade Myles Garrett.
Jay, which is why in the rundown I put, we'll use Micah, but I want to ask the big picture question. Is it worth giving up major assets for any player?
But it's
you don't have the quarterback.
And that's fine. We can bring it back to that. But it's just worth pointing out. I'm not defending it. I don't know why he operates this way. Jerry Jones has a long history of infuriating his best players.
And then signing them when they're done.
It doesn't make any sense why he goes about it. It goes all the way back to Emmitt Smith.
It's ego, Jay.
He did it with Emmitt.
It's his ego.
You're probably right. It's Dez.
I'm the most important person here,
It was
not
Dak
you.
Prescott. It's all of them.
Yeah.
He does it with all of them. I don't understand why you want to antagonize your best players, but this happens time and time and time. Did they ever trade Emmitt? No. They signed him. He held out and they signed him.
They didn't trade none of them dudes.
They all signed. He ain't going anywhere.
Yeah,
but
that's a fact.
But to the question, this team desperately needs a quarterback, and that's what the extra first-round pick is for. So, no, you need until you find the quarterback, you could put Lawrence Taylor with Bruce Smith, with Reggie White. You ain't winning in the NFL at a high level without the quarterback.
That's why I say you're absolutely putting the cart before the horse.
You got to have a quarterback.
You've got to figure out the quarterback piece. You have to. This is a move that this is a bad example because the Eagles are Super Bowl champs. But but look at the moves the Eagles made when they weren't Super Bowl champs. They kept making these huge splash moves, and we're like, oh my God, they're going all in to do this, and now they got it. So, but they had all the other pieces, and when they got Barkley, they're like, yeah. Now we've got a ring. Yeah, now we can bring him in.
If the Browns had, and I know we just got done saying, what if one of these rookies work out? Okay, fine. The reality is, I've said this before, they are approaching this as their quarterback is coming next year.
Yeah.
We can talk about this till we're out of wind. They are looking at the next quarterback class as where their next quarterback
Unless
is coming
Brock
from.
Purdy happens, it is going to.
If they had a quarterback in place that they felt really good about, okay, we can entertain the Micah conversation in a fantasy world because Dallas still ain't trading him.
Right.
But then we can have that. But
And on a rookie quarterback salary, that's when you can make a move.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
But Jimmy just got done saying, like, part of the reason the roster's depleted is because they didn't have a first-round pick for 3 years. And now here we are running out and having another conversation about giving up more first-round picks for a position that isn't the number one most important position on the field.
Consider this. I don't know. I didn't do the numbers. I'm just guessing. I'm betting that there are 28 teams in the NFL who will pay their starting quarterback more than we're going to pay all four.
Oh, for sure.
So,
Because,
to your point that the guy's not here,
Yeah.
like the guy's not here. Unless Brock Purdy happens,
Right.
the guy isn't here. So why are you going to bring in the Maserati engine when you still have
you got nobody to
Volkswagen?
drive it.
You got the Volkswagen frame.
Nobody can drive a stick shift. You just bought a sports car. Nobody knows how to drive a stick.
I always say this. This is the thing, though. This is what makes people they go crazy because we're saying we're going to play the odds, and we're saying the odds are that the quarterback is not on the roster, but we haven't played no games.
No, I know, but again, we are playing odds here.
That's the odds game, right?
The analytics of this situation tell us they're screaming at us. He's not here, guys.
But our
he's not currently here.
But our analytics be getting us in trouble and a lot.
They do.
Hey,
And look, when San Francisco drafted Brock Purdy as Mr. Irrelevant, in their wildest dreams, they didn't think they had their future starting quarterback.
Correct.
They just didn't think that.
But think about this. This is why I give him credit. This is why when people say, what is a genius, right? I'm like, okay, Jimmy Garoppolo went to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. If anybody takes the Cleveland Browns to the Super Bowl, good luck ever getting rid of him.
Two seasons of terrible play would do it.
Nobody.
You're always going to remember that guy was in there.
Nobody was like, so they got Jimmy Garoppolo. They went to the Super Bowl with him.
Jared Goff and the Rams, same thing.
Yeah.
And then they said, all right, well, we're going to trade all these picks for Trey Lance. They said after seeing Trey Lance for a couple of years and being hurt and played like 6 games, they said, oh, nope, this ain't it. Bye. I said, this is crazy.
Well, they also were able to say that because they were like, wow, that is
But
it.
it was actually a couple of weeks.
It was
because I've said that Kyle Shanahan. It goes back to what Joe Thomas said on our show. You know right away. Kyle Shanahan told the owner the best quarterback is the kid we took last.
Can you?
And to the owner's credit, the owner said, then put him in.
So think about that. And they took Mr. Irrelevant and he went to the Super Bowl. If any, like this is the most improbable thing in the world. So the San Francisco 49ers, the reason you're good is because guess what? You're willing to be like, hey, I saw something in the 7th round kid and I can make it work. And we'll jettison that. That's the type of eye you need. That's the type of thought process to say, we are in it to win it at all times. I'll give the Washington Commanders credit. They drafted RG3 and they traded a boatload of picks to do him. Yeah. And in that same draft, they took Kirk Cousins. The same exact draft. Mm-hmm. I'll give them credit. That's genius to me. Like, so for me, I need you to do everything you can to exhaust to see if these guys can play. And guess what? If you do that and they aren't, who cares?
Move on.
Move on.
Yeah, move
but
on.
I need to see, though. That's the only thing I'm saying.
The difference, there's one major difference to your analogy. The Niners are a blue chip organization. They get it right. They had, now think about this, they had Colin Kaepernick take them to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Within a few years, they had Jimmy Garoppolo take them to a Super Bowl. And then within a few years, they get
Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy plays his tail off, and they were ended up like on a 5th string quarterback in the playoffs after an injury. Like, they have the pieces in place. They have the system. They have the coaches. They have the general manager. John Lynch has done an incredible job of keeping the talent flow going. Here in Cleveland, just a few short years ago, we were some people's pick to win the AFC.
Yep.
It wasn't that long ago.
Yep. Life comes at you fast.
Life comes at you fast.
You know what's
what
funny?
happened?
You know what's funny when you talk about San Francisco? A lot of people talk about the Eagles, right, as a comp to the
Browns.
Browns.
They're another one.
The Browns are trying to be the Eagles with the way they restructure contracts and all that stuff. I actually think it's the 49ers. This is who they're trying to replicate.
Yep.
Kevin's trying to run Kyle's offense.
Yep.
They're trying to clearly they have not had the success that the 49ers have had, but it's just funny to me for all of the comps to the Eagles that people make. I actually think it's the 49ers.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong with that.
I listen.
You better have a John Lynch type GM.
Yeah.
And look, John will tell you, I didn't think Jimmy was going to be, or Brock was going to be this.
No, nobody did.
But here's what they did see. They saw something in there that said, you know what, this might translate.
And they rolled
Let's
with
take
it.
the flyer. And then when they saw on the field in training camp,
I mean, Trey got hurt. It's not like they benched him.
But you know what? It's luck and preparation and opportunity.
Yeah.
But when you got that much assets wrapped up in a guy, it is very difficult for your organization, your front office, or the owner
to cut ties.
to move off of that.
It is.
Especially if they he got hurt.
We're still clinging to Deshaun Watson.
We ain't got rid of him.
I mean,
like Albert Breer said, who's the most talented guy on the roster?
Yeah, well, there's a saying,
Deshaun?
they always say the captain goes down with the ship. Well, he doesn't have to.
Right.
Once everybody else is off, he can get the hell off too.
Kyle Shanahan.
This ship is going down, and Deshaun Watson's still on it.
Kyle
Still
was like,
playing violin.
yeah, I'm going to trade this.
Rearranging the deck chairs.
I'm going to trade this dude for a pick, and we're going to come. And the fact that it worked shows you. Now, I'm not going to say that's the same situation. Brock Purdy's a different situation, but hey, look, Jalen Hurts. People weren't jumping up and down for Jalen Hurts. We're like, he's a running back. He's an H-back.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't think that he would have success in the NFL.
Look, sometimes you got to roll the dice. When you roll the dice.
And that's the genius part of it that you mentioned. Gee, anybody can take a blueprint and try to replicate it. The genius in this whole thing is because it's a living, breathing organism that changes constantly. The genius that you speak of is trying to stay on the front edge of that curve.
Yeah,
don't do what's going on the last 5 years. Figure out what's next and go make that work.
You innovative. You not being retrospective. You like, listen, man. We thinking about this year. This is why I'll say this. That's why the Browns might be bad. But one thing I am encouraged by is the fact that training camp is completely different.
Yes,
It is
sir.
completely different.
Last year was a country club.
Live tackling periods in training camp.
Yep.
Like,
I know, it's good.
look, that says something. Like I'll say it. Kevin Stefanski had to change some different things, but he changed the stuff that was in his control, and that is this is how hard we're gonna practice.